Alright, so let's get into it with some NYX Pore Filler. I just put a little bit of this right in my T-zone, you know, where my pores are the biggest, and bring it to my forehead and to my chin. Make sure to kind of rub and pat it in. Okay. And while we're at it, I'm going to moisturize my lips, get them ready. Today I'm going to just do a really even base layer. It's just like a BB cream. This is the Lorac Hydrating Quench-N-Tint. So I just put like a pea-size amount on the back of my hand. And I take my beauty blender, it's already dampened, and I just dab it in all over my skin. And I don't really use eye primer. I just feel like foundation or concealer does the job. So just make sure to really bounce it into your skin. No rubbing, because that kind of just moves the foundation. Now, this is, if you have dry skin, this would be great for you. I have kind of combination skin. It just kind of depends on the day. So make sure you bring it down to your neck. And moving on to the forehead. This has got like a light coverage. You can build it up, but I think it looks better on the skin as a light coverage because that's the intent for it. Now I'm just using my beauty blender and going back in and making sure everything is all buffed in. Okay, so we're done with that. And if you want, what I sometimes do is I just take like a flat brush. This is the BH Cosmetics Small Face Round Brush. It's just like a nice dense brush, and I might just like pat it in even more just to make sure it really gets into my skin. Next, we're going to move on to concealer. This is one of my favorite concealers of all time. It's the Covergirl Ready Set Gorgeous. I'm in light pale, and you want to use a concealer maybe like 2 shades lighter than your natural skin tone for underneath your eyes. So I just put a little bit there. It's got kind of medium coverage, but I don't have a ton of bad circles under my eyes, at least not today. And I put a little bit down my nose, a little bit on my chin, and a little tiny flower right there. And then I go back in with my beauty blender and I just buff it in. And again, you can bring this concealer up on your eyelid to act as a base, but just make sure you set it if you do. If you're going to be putting eyeshadow on, which today we're just going to be doing like a light transition shade. Nothing crazy. Make sure you kind of bring it all the way out and bring it down. Make sure it's nice and blended in. Just like that. And then really quickly, I'm going to look up, pat all my creases out on both sides, and then go in with the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. And I look up to do this so I don't get any more creases. Now I'm kind of doing a light bake. I don't like to bake too much because my under eyes get a little dry, so I just put a lot of powder on and then really press it into my skin. And then afterwards, I take this tapered brush and I kind of pat it away too, just to make sure it doesn't look too white under the eyes. I don't want like a nice or a really harsh white line. And then I'll take the other powder and I'll put it where I put my other concealer to set it. And drop my beauty blender. And next I take if you have any problem areas on your face, this would be the time to correct those. I tend to get them around my nose and kind of on my chin. So I just take more of like a skin tone concealer, and I'll just draw 2 little lines on there and then kind of on my chin. And I will take a brush to blend these in. I think just patting them in makes sure the coverage still stays, and sometimes the Beauty Blender can suck it up. And then I don't want it to be too powdery again, so I just take the excess of what's on my tapered brush and just set that. Okay, so we're done with the foundation base. Next, it's time to bronze a little. Currently, I'm using the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette. Looks like this. The bronzing shades and contour shades are really nice. There's about 4 in them. This one I don't really do. It's pretty dark. So what I do is I take these bottom 3 and I kind of just swirl my brush around in it. And this is a Sonia Kashia brush. It doesn't have a number on it, but this brush is to die for. It's so fluffy, nice and big, really gets all the powder in there. And then I just kind of go kind of messily, not super organized, and I just go on the sides of my face, right along there, and then make sure to bring it up your forehead. If you have a really small forehead and you don't want it to look any smaller, I would suggest not doing this step. Really nice, making sure it's blended in. And then I also take this down my neck just to make sure I don't have like a really big color difference, and it just makes it look all more seamless. And then sometimes what I do, just to make sure, I just kind of go like this on my nose with the excess. I don't know. I just like the way it looks. Alrighty. So we're done with bronzer. Next, I'm going to do blush. I recently just picked up this new L'Oreal Infallible Paints blush set. The colors looked pretty nice. I really don't have a big blush selection. So it's kind of got this light blushy peachy color, this really bright orange color, and then more of a pink and a mauve-y color. And it even came with a little brush, but I'm not going to use that. So I think today I'm going to take just this first color. It's kind of like a peachy color. I'm just going to dip my brush in there. This is the Real Techniques blush brush. It's really nice. So I'm just going to dip it in there. And I don't know how pigmented this is, so I'm going to tap it off. And I like to smile and just put it on the apples of my cheeks and bring it back. I'm going to dip in again. Tap, tap. I don't know if that's really showing up on camera, but it's a really nice flush of color. It's a matte color. These are all matte colors. But I think I'm going to go in with this last mauve color just to see if I can add a little more of like a fallish vibe into it. And I'm just going to very lightly dust this back. Two sides. This side being not as pigmented and this side being way more intense and in your face. So if you don't like a super blinding highlight on like an everyday occasion, it's great. And then if you're going out, you have an alternative. So I normally like to start off with the less blinding side, and I just dip my brush in there. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills A23 brush, best highlighter brush. So I take it in there, pat it off, and you just want to highlight where the natural light would hit your face. So it's going to be on your cheekbones, and I kind of make a C shape just because I think it looks more natural, and it's a really pretty look when like the light hits you. So I just go right along here, and then I kind of bring it up into my brow bone, and I kind of go up here, so like a C, a nice C. I just do a little bit of that, and I go right on the other side, bring it up. Can you see that? That glow right there? And this is the subtle one. And then, if I'm feeling a little extra frisky that day, I'll take the brighter one, this one right here. and I'll dip my brush in ever so slightly, just on the tip, and I like to put it kind of towards the apples of my cheeks so when I smile I get that extra little glisten right here. So I'll just go like this, and I'll kind of blend it in. Take the other one. Do you see that? Sorry. Gorgeous. Do the other side. And then what I do is I also take this brush, I do a little side to side on my nose, up here and on my cupid's bow. I'll even take my finger on my cupid's bow. And I do an exclamation point, so I'll do a line down my nose and then a dot on the end. You know, it's kind of up to you and your style if you like it on your nose in here, but I like a really glowy, luminous look, so I think it really brings the glow into your skin if you kind of do it in this area. But again, it's all up to you. Next, we're going to do brows. So I have some pretty bushy brows, I have to say, but I still like to fill them in a little bit at the top. So I'm going to be using the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit, and I am in the shade 3. This is one of the best brow pencils ever. It's totally worth your money. So I always just brush through them, and I kind of brush them up just so I can really see what I'm doing. And I'm going to, kind of hard to do this, so I just like to naturally fill them in, doing light, very light strokes in a downwards motion, kind of just following my natural arch. I'm not going too far up or too far down because I'm not trying to, you know, redraw my brow. And I think you always want to keep the front of your brow a little lighter. You don't want to have it be too heavy, so I just take my brush very lightly through the front, and I kind of brush it through with my finger because I don't want it to look harsh. So that's really all I do. And then the other side, same thing. Like I said, I really don't need a lot, especially for an everyday thing. I just, you know, you don't need super defined brows. So after I fill them in, I brush through them one more time just to make sure they're all even, and brushing through really helps distribute the product evenly. Next, to set them, because I have a lot of brows hairs that likes to go up, down, left, and right, really crazy. So I take my 24-hour brow setter by Benefit. Let's see if it focuses. There we go. And this brow gel will literally feel like you're putting glue on your brows. It's awesome. So I take it and I kind of just brush them up and down. Dip, and again, you do not need a lot of this. Brush up and brush down. And your brows are done. Okay, moving on to the eyes. Now, today for class, I'm not going to do anything crazy, as I said. So the best tip in the books is taking the bronzer you used, any one of these colors, and just a really fluffy crease brush. This is the BH Cosmetics 103. It's a really nice fluffy brush. It's just got it's perfect. So what I do is, once again, I stay away from the darkest color. I'll just mix like this one and this one and this one, kind of just swirl them all together, tap off, and in no particular way, I'll run it through my crease. And it just adds a little definition back into your eye, so your eye doesn't kind of get lost in your face. Since we already have some definition around our face, you know, some blush, some highlighter, you don't want to forget about those eyes. So I just very messily run that in there, and that's what I do. And if you want, you can take another eyeshadow or maybe your highlighter that you used and pop it on your crease, but I'm going to skip that step today. Next, what I'm going to do, one second, is I'm going to grab my Lorac Pro Mega 3 palette, and this is a gorgeous palette. And I like to take the color Snow right here. As you can see, I kind of put a dent in it. Now, this is some really pigmented white stuff, and I will just pop it in the corner of my eye. I love a nice highlight in the corner of your eye. I really think it brightens up your eye. no matter what color of eye, what eye shape, what skin tone, anything. It's beautiful. And then I'll take a little bit of snow as well, dip back in, and kind of highlight under my brow bone, since I think that kind of just brings the glow back. So right under my brow bone, you see some crazy, crazy highlight. And then sometimes what I'll do, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll take a little bit more snow, and I'll highlight on the tip of my nose, rub it in, and do my Cupid's bow, just for that extra glow. So again, that is the Lorac Pro Mega 3 palette, and again, I'll link everything in the description bar below. So after your eyes are complete, or your eyeshadow, we're going to go on to some mascara. So I'm just going to curl my lashes real quick. And I recently just found this new Wet n Wild Megaslim lengthening mascara, so I'm going to do that. So see, just a light little layer of it is all you need for the beginning. Do the same thing to the other eye. And that's it. We'll come back to this. I like to get my top lashes done, and then I'll go back to my bottom lashes. Now, my favorite mascara of all time is the Lights Camera Lashes by Tarte. It is amazing, and there's a waterproof version that's just the same. So the brush is a little bit bigger, but it's still amazing. So next, I'm just going to really nicely coat my top lashes with this. See, it really lifts them up, and it's really black, and just, it honestly looks like you're wearing false eyelashes, but you're not. Do the same thing to your other eye. Isn't that beautiful? Alright, now we're going to go back into the Wet n Wild and just very light. Sometimes on like everyday natural days like this, I won't even do my bottom lash lines just because it makes it look more natural. So for today, I'm just going to do a really light layer right on the bottom. Nothing crazy. Really, really light. See, you might not even be able to tell I have it on, but I do. And that completes the eyes. That's all I really do. Again, I'm just going to put some chapstick on real quick because it's fall and those lips are getting chapped. And next, I'm going to reach for my Fenty Beauty lip gloss. This is the Luminizer, I think that's what it's called, but it's just a universal shade. It's the only lip gloss that she launched, and it's just beautiful. It's a natural, everyday thing. And if you guys could smell this, it smells like, it's like really sweet. It smells just delicious. So I just put a little bit of this on. Nothing crazy. And then what I'll do is I will take my Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. And some days I don't even do this if I just have like an hour or so class that day, because it's kind of a waste and I'll use this when I go out and stuff. So I'll just really set it, let it dry a little bit, and that's it. I'll zoom you guys in so you guys can see. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and thanks for watching just this everyday kind of get ready with me video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and just subscribe to my channel. Again, I will leave everything I used linked down below, and I'll see you guys in my